What's going on, fellow blade lovers? Welcome to another blade review here at Gideonstactical. I'm Aaron, hanging with you guys today on another Tabletop Tuesday, where we're looking at a James brand Hell Gap. And this is my first James brand knife, and it may be my last. And as we go through this video, you're gonna see potentially why. Because in theory, it has an amazing profile to be either a compact EDC fixed blade, for those of you who like that and are looking for that in a tool. It definitely has that profile capability, or a potential what's the word I'm looking for? Companion blade to run along in tandem with either a large chopper or a hatchet and use it that way, or have on your shoulder strap of your day pack for day trips into the backcountry, backpacking trips where you want something more than a pocket knife, but you want to count every ounce and you don't feel like you need something massive. This has the potential to really be a do-everything tool in a lot of scenarios, but there are some definite shortfalls that I'm going to unpack with you. I have some competitive options that are really going to, I believe, kind of highlight some of the shortcomings, issues on this design. Now, right out of the gate, let's talk sheath. When I got this tool and opened the box, I saw this Kydex sheath, which is, when you're thinking of a knife of this style, you want a good sheath that's going to be able to have a lot of mounting options. It's going to be slim, and it definitely is slim. It's a pancake design. Taco would be a little less profile, but it's very slim. So I really like that. We got a drainage hole, lots of lashing points. I was pleased with what I saw, and then I flipped the tool over, and there was no attachments whatsoever. It doesn't come with a ulti clip. It doesn't come with a blade tech lock, molly lock, nothing. Which is really like, what are we talking about here? So that was really odd. So I just lashed some paracord just, for this testing, and to carry it, that is one very cheap way to do it. Not the end of the world. I have plenty of blade tech locks and all that stuff, but I mean, that's extra cost potentially that you're gonna have to invest right out of the gate. So, okay, well, maybe we can overlook that. Something like this has to have good tension as well, because you might be running it, again, upside down on your shoulder strap to easily deploy, maybe scout style on your belt, something like that. Well, the tension is pathetic. It's really bad. One little jerk and this thing just falls out. I would not carry this upside down or in a scout style in its current configuration, according to my design. You're gonna have to use your wife's hair dryer or some sort of heat gun to tension up and try and get at least a little more tension around the neck here. It's just really bad. Just in proof that just because of this style of knife doesn't mean you can't have a good click. This is a Kydex sheath on an SE4HM, very similar kind of design. Snaps really nice into place and has good tension. So that's a big miss to me. No attachment points, low tension, not ideal. But let's look at the blade itself, because I mean the design is nothing like mind-blowing, but it's very organic. And we have a 3.8-inch blade length. You're going to have a high saber grind. I really like that in a blade of this style, with basically the last inch being a full flat. So that means it's going to be excellent for precision cutting, food prep, cardboard, like if you're notching something out and just really guiding the tool, it's going to cut very, very nicely. And then the high flat grind gives it a little bit of strength without being like a tactical blade, basically. Now it's going to be 0.118, so basically an eighth of an inch thick, back here by the jimp, and holds that all the way to the tip, and has, I wouldn't say a precise tip, but a good tip. Not too thin, not too thick, really, what you would want. No 90-degree spine. It is, rounded ever so slightly, so you'd have to put a grinder to that if you wanted to do that. And it is, what's the steel? Oh yeah, excuse me, Crucible S35 VN steel. Now, I really like that steel. It's an excellent stainless, so you can have, a satin blade like this. There are some versions that come coated, to cut down on like reflection and that type of thing. But I've always found the S35 VN holds a good edge, very easy to resharpen compared to other steels, and is relatively durable. So I think it's a good choice for this type of blade, being a crossover either backcountry or potentially EDC tool. So blade shape, just beautifully done and well executed. Now, as we roll into the full tank construction, we have these micarta handle scales. There are some G10 options, I believe. No guard, kind of sweeps right in, meaning that you're right up on the edge. So this wouldn't be a tactical knife. You're not, not designed to stab or self-defense rolls. Definitely for just utility or woodworking, and it definitely gives you the ability to do that. You're able to get up close on it, work with it. My large size hands fit the handle well. I believe it's like a 1/2 inch. So it's gonna feel kind of like a good sized pocket knife on the diameter. All the shoulders are rounded, the spine is flush, so all those attributes are really well done. Now what's weird is that the attachment points are really small. That's a really small torque driver on front and back, and then just a flat portion there, and then the James brand logo kind of put in there, but it's not flush. I have a pretty sharp lip right there. It's not recessed, so you'd probably want to sand, at least on my, again, this is my version, would want to sand that down. I don't really feel it when I'm engaging and using the tool in different grips, but if you're a lefty, your index would definitely kind of rub up on that. So it's just weird that they didn't like make that completely nice and flush and just kind of round off the edges a little bit. Not the end of the world, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's just odd right there. And I did all my regular, testing, did some batoning with it. The scales didn't shift or move, so that's good. It's just, I wish the attachment points were a little bit beefed up, the screws, the bolts. Okay, so all of those attributes mean that also, let's just weigh it real quick. I forgot to do that for us. Sorry, I had to pull that off frame to weigh that. So it's 3.1 ounces for the blade, and then like 4.5 with this paracord attachment on there. So it's again, very slim, very lightweight. This is hitting a lot of really good points. Now, depending on value and cost, this still, you may be able to overlook some of the issues with the sheath. We'll get to that in just a moment. But before we do, I just want to thank you guys, the viewers, in tandem with our regular sponsors here at the channel. Help me really to create the content that you see here. Without you guys and our sponsors, I couldn't do what I do week in, week out. And I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is Hardside Hydration. This American-based company is awesome because they have come up with a solution to give us hands-free hydration with a hose. But instead of attaching it to a cumbersome water bladder that's really a headache to clean and do all that stuff with, it attaches to your rigid water bottles, meaning it's a lot cleaner. Oftentimes you can actually like streamline it more and it's just not as cumbersome. So they're always fine-tuning, updating, and giving more and more variety to the types of rigid water bottles that you can attach this system to, along with the 28mm small mouth bottles like a smart water bottle. So this is an excellent solution if you want that hands-free hydration and you're tired of all those cumbersome water bladders. So I invite you guys to check out all that they have going on. I'll have a link in the description box below where you can explore all the different attributes and aspects, as well as my exclusive 10% off promo code that you can apply towards your very first purchase. So hop on over there and get yourself a more streamlined system for your hydration needs the next time you go on your adventures. So even though the steel is USA made Crucible S35VN, this knife is designed in Portland, Oregon, but it is made in China. This is a Chinese made knife. According to their site, that's where it is built. So immediately you're like, oh, okay, well, all right, well, depending on price, that's fine. I mean, the fit and finish quality outside of the weirdness with the sheath is I have zero complaints, to be honest with you, depending on price. This knife is $270, almost $300, pushing $300, guys, for this knife. This is at least $100 overpriced, in my opinion. For it being made overseas, this should be easily like $150, $175 max. If it was USA made completely and it was all of these attributes, that would still be quite pricey, but if you like the profile and design, I mean, it definitely has something to offer. But at that price point, made in China, I'm sorry, there's just way better options. Just to give you a couple examples. The HM series from Essie, again, fully made in America. Now it's $10.95, which won't hold up the edge, and it's not rust resistant like S35VN is, but you get Kydex or leather sheath options, micarta handles that'll actually be a little bigger and fuller, full flat grinds, and there's like 110, 120 bucks. Now, I would love for SE to make these HM models in S35VN. That would be awesome. The SE4, just the standard one with the finger choil, which I don't really prefer, that S35VN model is, I think, like $180 when it's available. So just showing you again, just way overpriced in my opinion. Then for a very similar profile, we have the SCHWARZ Confidante, amazing blade, Magna cut steel, made in Idaho at TJ's shop from beginning to end, really customizable. She's our interchangeable. You can modify those and customize, excuse me, is the word I'm looking for. Those excellent Kydex sheath, really well done. The tension is superb. Obviously comes with a freaking belt clip. You can get leather, which is manufactured by his dad. And these are like $290, maybe $300. So within 20, 30 bucks of this model, we're getting Magna Cut, which will way outperform this. Very similar size, profile, customizable, and 100% USA built. Then as just another quick example here, Montana Knife Company, you know, definitely is not known for like high, quote unquote, high value, good materials, good, excellent stuff that Josh is doing over there. Kydex sheath, excellently done with a belt clip, tension screw, Magna Cut here on the Speed Goat, very similar size, even lighter weight. This guy is $225. $225, American made, right there. So I will have links in the description box below this video, not only to this knife, if you, for whatever reason, feel like it's the right move for you, but also the competitive options I just ran in, and maybe a few other ones that I think of off the top of my head. Those will be in the description boxes below. But honestly, I mean, if you can score it for like 150-ish, that would make sense to me. But as it stands right now with the materials and what it is at $270 is just wildly, wildly overpriced, particularly with the sheath being the way it is. So guys, that is my mileage. That is my take on the James brand Hell Gap. And I really look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts on this blade, particularly if you own one. How's it been performing for you? And I always appreciate you guys coming over, hanging with me today. I do invite you to subscribe if you haven't yet. Check out the other video popping up. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.